Hey there you guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today we're going to do a collaboration video, and it's going to be with Rachel from Gardening at Douentza. She is also a fellow YouTuber, obviously, because we're doing a collaboration. And she started her channel around the same time I did, I believe. And she has beautiful gardens, she's got some really interesting plants, and she lives so far away from me. Well, it seems so far away. I'm in Ontario, Canada, and she's in Ireland. So yeah, I'll link her channel details down below in the descriptions, and maybe if I can, I'll put a card up in the top. And yeah, so this collaboration video is going to be 5 of our favorite plants to give a tropical vibe to a garden. So I am in zone 6B, and she is in zone 9. So our plant choices that we have options to use are vastly different. Like, it's ridiculous. So her choices are going to be so much more different than mine. Mine are going to be fairly, I don't know, shall I say common things to give a tropical vibe, because that's what is available around here. So we're going to do kind of a flip-flop. I'm going to do one, she's going to do one. So it'll be a fun little video to watch. So you're going to see 3 of mine on my channel, and then the other 2 will be on hers. So click in the link down below after this video and go check it out. Check out her channel. So anyway, let's get into it. So I just wanted to start right now. It is February. You are probably going to be seeing this in March. Well, you probably will, because it's the end of February now. And I just wanted to pan you around my yard to show you how snowy it is. It's actually melted a lot in the last couple of weeks. We've been getting ridiculous snowfalls. It's been a perfect storm. I think we've been getting a lot of lake effect snow, but which normally we don't get. It's usually, it snows maybe 10 or 15 centimeters, and then it melts away kind of the next day or a couple of days after. But this year it has stayed. It started late, but it is still here. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now. So you can see how much of a difficult time it is to make a tropical vibe from this winter wonderland. So anyway, let's get into my list. It's in no particular order. But if you know me, you'll probably know some of the plants that I'm going to choose. So number 1 on the list is going to be the bananas. So I'm going to group in the Musa and the N-set into this because I grow both and they're just so beautiful. And I'm going to have to put in photos because, as you know, it's snowy outside and my plants are dormant and they don't look very good. They look horrible. So anyway, the Musa ice cream. The ice cream variety is the one, it's a blue Java is what it's also called, is one that I use, and it's beautiful. I don't know if I have a really recent photo of it, but I'll try. And the other one is the red Abyssinian banana. Can I say that right? Red Abyssinian banana. So that is, what is that? Enset vericosum, I can't remember. We'll just call it the red Abyssinian. So it's a very common one, and I store those ones dormant over the winter time. I store them in the garage, and it's a frost-free garage. So it's not a heated garage, but it doesn't freeze, thank goodness. I used to try to grow them over the winter time in the grow room, and they used to do okay. But they used to crush up against the ceiling, and it was just a whole fiasco. It was not fun. So since storing them dormant, I've done that for 2 years, and they grow beautifully. So that is what I'm doing now. And as you can see, the bananas, they add that bold, instant appeal of the tropics. The only problem is, if you live in a really windy area, it's best to protect them from strong winds. Otherwise, they tear. The Musa tears more than the N-set does, in my experience. So if you have higher winds, maybe I would choose the N-set banana more than the Musa. There is a Musa variety called Basjoo, Basjoo, that is quite cold hardy. What is it? I think it's called the Japanese fiber banana, I believe it's called. And it's hardy with protection up until zone 5B. So it's a nice one if you live in a colder climate and you don't want to have to worry about digging things up. But I'm not going to say that it's an easy one to keep over winter. You need to usually mulch it heavily, put a tarp over it, and hope for the best. And hopefully it didn't get too much water standing around the corm that it will survive the winter. So that is my first choice, is the banana. Let's jump over to Rachel and see what she has for number 2.
Ah, yes, Bill, we all love a good banana, and I'm really no exception. But I have to come clean with you. I've stopped growing bananas outdoors in my garden because they don't come through the winter for me, and I'm not prepared to dig things up and bring them indoors. Hello, Bill and Bill subscribers. I'm Rachel from Gardening at Douentza channel, and I'm here to tell you about my tropical vibe plants. And the one I want to share with you now is Tetra Panics Rex, or T-Rex, colloquially named after the dinosaur. And whenever I look at these large palmate leaves, I always think of a dinosaur. I can just imagine one like in there among the branches and the leaves popping up somewhere in the garden. At least that's what I tell the children that come to visit. Because I have several groves of Tetra Panics Rex in my garden, or the rice paper plant, I think is the colloquial name for it. It just does really, really well for me and just adds so much as a backdrop to general flowers and plants and other things in the garden. In winter, I just leave the plant in situ. In a bad winter, it's going to lose all its leaves like happened this year, but they will resprout again in spring, and then soon you're there again with those enormous shady leaves making a fantastic canopy everywhere in the garden. Tetra Panics Rex can be grown in full sun or partial shade, and it needs a well-drained soil, they say. Now, having said that, I find that this plant really is a sucker. It runs and it pops up everywhere in the garden, so I don't think it's very fussy about the type of soil. So just be aware of that if you're planning to plant it in the garden. And it's hardy from zone 8, I believe. So yeah, Tetra Panics Rex, definitely up there among my top favourites. Okay, Bill, what you got for me now?
Oh my goodness, Rachel, that Tetra Panics is amazing. In the name, that's that's some prehistoric stuff going on there. I think I might need to try to grow that in my garden. If not in my garden, maybe I'll try it in pots. So that's amazing. My number 3 plant is going to be the Canna Lilies. So this group is vast. They all kind of look similar in the shape of the leaves and the type of flower. So the one that I grow is I think it's called Patora, but it's also called like Bengal Tiger. And I love it. I love the beautiful structure of the striped leaves, and they're just beautiful. The chartreusey yellowy green and the green leaf is just amazing. It's very eye-catching. The other one that I really love is the orange variety, the leaf with the orange on it. I think they're a type of Tropicana, and they're just beautiful. I try to grow those for my garden here, but the garden centers seem to have a lot of plants with, what is it? There's a virus that cannas can carry, and it deforms the leaves, and it adds brown streaks through the leaves. So I'm trying to avoid buying one with that on it, and it seems to be really, really hard for those Tropicana ones. So I grow the Patora. I think it's also called Bengal Tiger, and it has a beautiful orange flower. The cannas can come in varieties of colors. They have plain green. They have the one that I have, the Patora, with the green and yellowish variegation, and they have the Tropicana. They have the ones with the reddish, almost dark, like purple leaves. There's such a variation, and in the flower colors, they come in yellow, they come in pink, they come in red, orange. There's just so many types, and there's small flowers and larger flowers. If I have a choice, I'd like to have one that has the smaller flowers, because the flowers, you could see them as they come out, and they're just so beautiful. They're just amazing little flowers. I find that the big ones, when the big flowers come out, when the first one comes out, it's super nice. But then as they all start to flower, as they open, the flowers crush together, and it just becomes a massive color, which is beautiful in itself. Don't get me wrong, but I really like to see the flowers undisturbed. So that's my thing. So Canna Lily is my number 3. What's the next plant on your list, Rachel?
That's just super, Bill. You grow cannas so well. I love the plants, but I find them really difficult to overwinter. They just won't go to sleep. A bit like a petulant child that won't go to bed when it's supposed to. Anyway, I want to tell you about my next favourite plant, and this is the hardy ginger, or Roscoa. Now, I know that many people grow hedychiums, alpinia, the other type of ginger, but the one that I really love, and the one that is hardy for me outdoors in my garden, supposedly hardy from zone 6 to 9, is the Roscoa. Now, this beautiful, beautiful plant comes up to so high, well, yeah, I'm short, but so high, and the flowers are in shades of white, yellow, purple, lots and lots of purple, and red even, and almost black. And they just make such unusual and exotic looking flowers in the border, I find. One that everybody's going to ask about when they come to the garden. And another really striking and interesting feature is the fact that they have a kind of Halloween appearance about them. And that means that these tiny little plants that look very much like an orchid, they also have what looks like fangs, very much like a vampire that's going to prang you if you put your ankle too close to them. Roscoas are a great deciduous clump-forming plant that need moist soil in the summer and dryness in the winter, and they like a little bit of shade as well. So yeah, Roscoa, one of my favourite plants, and I have a bit of a collection going on in the garden because beside the fact that they're so unusual and exotic looking, adding that little bit of an exotic dimension in any part of the garden, I also think that they're unusual and so, so beautiful. So, Roscoa. Now, maybe you'll give some a try, Bill, because I know you grow all kinds of gingers, hedychiums, alpinias and that. And, well, supposedly hardy from zone 6. You try. You tell me how it is. Okay, can't wait to see what you have for me next.
Oh, wow, that was another ginger. Great minds. They're just such beautiful garden plants. Those are stunning. Roscoa. I'll have to remember that one, and I have to try to find it here because that looks like it's hardy for me too. I don't know if I have a dry enough spot for that in the winter, but we'll try. Maybe I can store it dormant in the garage. So anyway, my number 5. Finally, we're here. And that would be the monkey puzzle tree. It's not terribly tropical, I would say, but it gives the vibe of something different. It gives the texture, the drama, the excitement, the ooh, what's that kind of feel, and usually you get that in the tropics. So I describe it as a Norfolk Island pine on steroids. So the beautiful fluffy Norfolk Island pine that grows in beautiful layers and has that nice star growth on the top if you look down on it. Well, that's kind of what the monkey puzzle tree does, but it has leaves or I don't even know whether you want to call them needles, leaves, knife blades, I don't know. So it has those on it, and it's just, you don't want to plant it close to where people are, but it's an amazing plant. It's certainly a conversation starter, and it is just amazing. Mine isn't a good example. Maybe I'll try to find some Google images of a more mature monkey puzzle tree, because mine is still young. I've had mine for 2 or 3 years, and I love it. And maybe it needs to go into a bigger size pot, but it is an amazing plant. So yeah, you just want to give that tropical vibe. You just want to add different textures. Usually they're bigger, they're bolder. Or you want to have that thing that adds a little bit of whimsy to the garden. So I was going to do something like an agave or a mangave, but I thought, well, those are more arid climates. Those aren't tropical vibes. Those are desert vibes. So yeah, I went with the monkey puzzle tree because it's so different, it's so unique, and again, people question what it is, and then they go up and touch it and they say, "Ouch." So yeah, that is the last one on my list. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you go over to Rachel's channel to check out her 5, as well as 2, I guess her 3 and 2 of mine. And yeah, maybe in time we'll do more of these collaborations. Yeah, until next time, you guys, happy growing. Oh, and what are your favorite plants to give the tropical vibe? Maybe we mentioned them, maybe we didn't. So maybe you'll inspire us to try something different. Anyway, until next time, you guys, happy growing.